just singing Coolio. Just so everyone at home listening right now, Alex was just singing Gangsta's Paradise, and it was golden. It was the best thing ever.
Me singing is never golden, trust me. You were at the same party I was a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah, that it was horrendous. How's it going, man?
I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm aching, man. I've had a really busy but great week. Like I have Thursdays and Fridays on my own with my little boy, and then Saturdays and Sundays the wife kind of joins in. I
hope she doesn't watch this still.
No, we've had a really good week. A lot of time spent in the park, really, which is always great. In the sun, and it's been really hot here. We've been the hottest country in Europe this week.
Days like this are awesome. Where it's just awesome weather. You go out, you don't do anything important. You just chill out and just relax and spend time. And just exist. It's awesome.
Well, yesterday was a disaster. So for the Weekly Bazaar this week, Garrett's got far too much on. So he was like, can you get someone to fill in for me just for this week? I sent him a message actually saying, do you mind if I get someone just to cover you just for this week? And he sent me a message saying, I don't want to know his name. I don't want to know how good it was. So I was like, okay. So I messaged on the Underdog. So I managed to get someone. He had mountain time too, which is like 7 hours difference between us. And I was like, okay, so I'll be back to record at 6 in between everything else I'd done, but I'd planned too much for one day, which was yesterday. So we went to Ellesmere Lake, which is beautiful. By the way, on the way we found a castle to look at, which is also beautiful. That's a great thing we always take for granted in the UK is the kind of history that we've got here, like castles and things like that. You don't really get that in America. Anyway, so we went there. I went to the lake. We shot back, and then I did some work at the prison. I did the zombie one. You saw all the Instagram videos yesterday. And then I was meant to come back and do a show. I got back, and I texted the guy like, dude, fuck that shit. Like, I can't do it.
I'm not.
So I think me and Jimmy are going to follow up and do one for Friday, I think.
You and Jimmy. Who's Jimmy?
You and me and you. I'm talking about you in the thing.
Jimmy would like that, especially if we talked all the way through in first person or whatever the tense is. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, we're gonna have that up later this week. Doing this is literally like what it's like being in a cuckold couple. It's just like you got your main thing on the go, you've got your actual marriage, and then one of you gets a bit bored and wants to do something else, so they start doing something else, and then they come join in because it's like, oh, that looks like fun, can I be a part of it? And then it's at the end it will just be like, I bet you halfway through the episode I'll just be like ashamed and in the corner, just like, my subjects aren't good enough for this show.
I'll be like, Garrett's bigger and better.
But no,
and you know what, the response for Weekly Bazaar has been fantastic. I wanted to thank everyone as well for your kind words, because genuinely, like, more than the Thors-Kin Podcast, we have had people.
It's an awesome little show. The thing is, with stuff like that, the subjects like are really interesting. It's not just one theme or one sort of like concept that we're doing. Like here it's geek news, it's nerd stuff, it's comic books, it's games, it's like that proper. There's a lot of it, but it's quite segmented and here and there each week, whereas what you're doing is getting into the nitty-gritty of like actual really interesting subjects, and you do tits and ass jokes like we do here, but you're then actually answering proper questions underneath it, so it's a really good format.
And Garrett's actually really intelligent as well. I know he's intelligent because he's an engineer, but like when we speak to him on Garrett and Justin Triggered, he's kind of, we're more relaxed and laid back, and so we just kind of poking fun at each other. But like when you sit down with him and actually discuss things that are like really intelligent, he's brilliant. He's really good. So yeah. That'll be dropping on Friday, 9 p.m. And thanks for everyone sending stories in. People just send me stories now. I don't even have to research. It's great.
Do you feel like Joe Rogan?
Yeah, that is really good.
Sorry if I don't retweet you, bros. I just get trolled with loads of stuff. Well, yeah, we've got loads of stuff dropping this week as well. We've got Superhero Bar Fight kicking back off in a bit of a pre-season episode. So we've hinted at it before. We said we'd hold out on the news, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be launching a new season. So season 2 of Superhero Bar Fight is coming the first week of May. This week we're going to be doing a pre-season draw, so we're going to have a 3-month-long tournament. We've got 32 fighters doing video games and comic books. We're going to see who's the best. We're going to watch Master Chief bitch slap everyone, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, we're going to be doing like an actual proper draw event on, I think we'll drop it on Wednesday. So we're going to be doing probably 10-15 minute episode where we're doing the draw. We're going to go through all the detail of how it's all going to work, so make sure you tune in then. And little sneak preview, we might have a new logo, maybe. Just
you sent me this, man, and you sent me the logo you're working on, and it's already looking fantastic, so I'm really excited to see it. So well done on working on that. And I'm really excited for season 2 of Superhero Bar Fight because it's evolving, it's growing, and it's moving with the show. And you know what? The Thors-Kin channel is now amazing. You've got the Thors-Kin Podcast, you've got Superhero Bar Fight, and you've got the Weekly Bazaar, and then whatever shit Jimmy's going to concoct. That's brilliant.
It'd be better if you said concoct.
Concoct. Oh, God, a podcast that I can't talk. I need to give a shout out to Geek Out, the guys at Geek Out as well. So you may remember a while ago, I was posting videos of me playing board games and things. It was a while ago, and that was because I got invited to a thing called a Geek Out meet, and it's basically this company is fantastic. Their website, by the way, if you're into like really, really amazing writing about subjects and things, check out their website, Geek Out, and they gather up all the geeks and we meet in a pub and we play board games. It's a place where you can go and discuss your favorite superheroes, comic books, movies, whatever. It's a safe place for you to go. And I went and I was actually blown away. They're really good. They've given us a few shout outs on the website. And a couple of weeks ago, Joel from Geek Out, I nearly forgot his name then, that would have been tragic. He invited me to judge me and Jimmy. Whether Jimmy's going to come or not, it's up to him. Piling on the pressure. They're doing a Marvel versus DC discussion kind of debate, and they've invited Thors-Kin Podcast to judge it. So I thought that'd be great. Go and sit there, have a few beers with fellow geeks, and break out the DC wiki. Because I guarantee these guys are going to know far more about DC
they'll
than Marvel
be absolutely schooling us. So just like, I think you'll find that Ben Affleck can't do that. They'll be like, bros, go home. I don't know why they're like weird soccer moms from suburbia, but you know.
I thought it'd be a great opportunity for us to do some Facebook Live in and get there and just give ourselves some exposure, give these some exposure as well. Because what great partnership, you know, a company that encourages geeks like us to be yourselves and go out and do your thing, and a show that does exactly the same thing. What a great partnership. So, really good. And so as well, this week, I went back to the car park to see the guy that I pissed off a few weeks ago. Did you see this?
No, I didn't. I deliberately wanted to ask you about this. I didn't get a chance to look at your video, but I saw it sort of like scrolling down. What happened?
Well, I went at the weekend. No, it was, when was it? Friday. I wanted to relive that day that I was supposed to have with Timmy, my boy. And so we did. I managed to go and sit in Wimpy, which was really disappointing, by the way, because it's just a cafe with extraordinary high prices. Good food, though. Then I went. We went to the park as well, and then I thought, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go to the car park. I'm gonna suck up my pride and go and see this guy." So I did. I went and saw him. I tapped on the window, and I was like, "Sorry, dude. I believe I was really rude to you last week when the card machine went down, and he remembered me straight away. Yes. He was like, yeah, I do remember that. And I was like, you paid for me to get out, didn't you? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I'd like to give you your money back. And he's like, no, you don't have to do that. I was like, yes, I do. That was really horrible. I'm not usually like that. So I chucked him £3, and then and I was like, look, I'm not normally I'm not normally an asshole. I've just had a really bad day, so I'd like to give you some money for a pint. So I chucked him £5, and I was like, get yourself a pint. I don't care what you want to do with that money. Just go and treat yourself. I'm sorry.
That's it. He's going to be found dead later. He managed to get just enough money for his next score of smack, and he's going to be fucking overdosed in an alleyway. Well done, Al. Good Samaritan.
And the thing is, right, I make myself sound really righteous and really good by doing this, but ultimately I've just been an arsehole and thrown money at a guy. You know, so but yeah, he kind of nearly started welling up, and he's like, he kind of looked at me longingly, and he was like, "Thank you," and I was just like, "Have a nice day, goodbye." And I got out there as quick as I can because, like, you know, I'm prepared to deal with emotions, but not on a day when I was having a good one. You know,
yeah. I
was just kind of like, I'm getting out of here. I just had this image of me with this guy from the car park just crying on each other's shoulders.
Yeah, just sat on the floor, but like underneath the booth, so the window's there with the till to take the money. You're just both there with donuts and a milkshake, just like crying on each other. It's like, oh my god, life's incredible, isn't it?
Oh god, yeah. So yeah, okay, it was the car park's fault for not making sure the pay machine wasn't working and stuff, but it wasn't his fault. You know, he was just trying to do his job on a bad day. So I felt really bad for my behaviour. So I thought I'd go back and, you know, do the right thing. So good deed done for the week.
Yeah, I had a similar, well, half similar situation last night, literally just last night. Obviously, it's really hot here at the moment, so we're all sleeping with the windows open. And at like 11 o'clock started this fucking... Like, imagine someone put the loudest sound system you've ever heard. Like, someone put fucking the Motorhead's guitar amps outside in their garden last night and started playing music. We had an hour of Dolly Parton. Then we went on to Garth Brooks, and then we went on to My Anaconda Don't Want. Oh my God, it was absolutely ridiculous. So I thought it was the pub that was by us, so it carried on and on and on, and I was sat there googling noise complaint shit. I was just like, what the fuck can I do about this? We called like the non-emergency things, like, what can you do to shut someone the fuck up? And they're like, we can't really do anything. So I called this pub up. I waited until I think it was about 12:15 at that point. I was like, shut the fuck up. And they're like, it's not us, it's next door. They've got a party in the garden. She sounded so just like... And I was like, oh my God, I am so sorry. They must have had calls all night long about this dickhead neighbour who was just blasted. Honestly, like, I took a recording of it. You couldn't hear our TV. Their music was that loud. And they were like a good street or so down. It was like someone had put a sound system on full blast inside of our room. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
can you be quiet, please? I'm trying to watch Downton Abbey.
It was just like,
it's 8:30 in the evening, people. Good sake.
But yeah, I felt like such a dickhead when I called them up. I like worked myself up and up so much. I was like, I'm completely justified. I've waited long enough. I'm going to be a fucking bellend down the phone to this person. Called them, and they're like, it's not us. Please.
You should have called me. You know, I'm the master of dealing with noise complaints after the dickhead I had next door. And I would have told you that there's literally nothing anyone is willing to do. Our country's so fucked up. Like, you can, yeah. I could have a party right now.
Yeah. It's like, send someone round, tell them to shut the fuck up. If they don't, come round again. We'll confiscate your sound system. Shut the fuck up. Like, it's not difficult. Stop being a bellend.
When you ring him up, you have these images of police just booting the door in and just smacking the fuck out of the stereo.
I'm
now go to sleep.
Like, full-on SWAT gear, just like, you need to call the fucking riot teams down here, bro. It's just like, it's a Saturday night. There's like, we're having to like divert everyone down London. We don't have anything because shit's kicking off. Just like Conor McGregor's at it again. It's just like, and you're asking about a noise complaint on fucking Telford, like some street. Yeah.
You should have rang him up and you should have said, I just heard a gunshot, bro, down the plane. Anonymously. I see a gunshot. They'd have been there in a second, though. So, yeah. I laugh, but I know what it's like. I know exactly what it's like to deal with that, not be able to deal with it. So you're going to be cranky later.
Oh yeah. But I just, before we actually get into any of the meat and potatoes of today's show, I just want to give one shout out as well. I want to give a shout out to PlayStation, because yesterday I came across a game called Ultimate Fishing or something like that, right? I was in the just browsing through the games in the free-to-play section, and I click on this game, Fishing World or something like that, and I click on the trailer just thinking, let's have a look how boring this is. This will be fun. Honestly, the trailer, it was like they put the most hyped up Rammstein song that you have ever heard. And it was just this guy fishing. And I was like, what the... I had to download it. I was just like, you have put so much effort to make that trailer to this free-to-play fishing game. I just had to give a shout out to that. I wanted to get it all set up and ready to show you. I'll show you after the show, man. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, send me the link. I saw a video as well before we started recording it. It was like LA Noir or something like that, but with the facial movements on it like 500%. So when they're talking, their jaws are like hitting the floor and their lips are hitting the ceiling. And
I love videos like that. And it's just their normal voice. Just like, I think I've found a murder. And it's all...
When someone like swizzles their head to look at something, they go and their cheeks just hit the fucking wall on the other side of the room or something. It's great. Oh, okay. So listen, we need to get on with the show because we're going to run out of time, otherwise.
Yeah, we do.
My first story this week is about. Have you heard this shit about Rick and Morty?
No. What's going on?
Oh my god. Okay, first of all, I'm a huge fan of Rick and Morty. I'm a big fan, but I do not associate with the fan base at all whatsoever because they're fucking idiots, right? They're a bunch of idiots. And what's this controversy about? What do you reckon has caused everyone to kick off? Is it a delay in development time? Is it a storyline that they don't agree with?
I don't think they agreed that Rick Sanchez and Doctor Strange would have beat Iron Man and Inspector Gadget personally.
My Little Pony.
What?
My Little Pony. Okay, so what happens from time to time in the animated world. We've seen it with The Simpsons, with Matt Groening and Seth MacFarlane with Family Guy and Ren and Stimpy. Well, throughout time, animators have given a tip of the cap or a nod towards another animator to say, we appreciate you in the smallest way possible. My Little Pony, right? They did. It's a kids program, of course. They did. All it was is like a party or something, and they scans across the room, and there's two ponies, one that looks like Rick and one looks like Morty, right? And you think, oh yeah, that's fine. You know, it's a tip of the cap. That's fine. The Rick and Morty fans have gone fucking nuts on Reddit.
Wait. Is this like an advert or just like a video?
It's an actual episode of My Little Pony because they've been rebooted.
Oh, okay.
In an episode, as you're scanning across the room, for about half a second, you see two ponies, one that looks like Rick and one that looks like Morty. It's literally just a tip of the cap. We appreciate you. We know you're there.
Yeah.
That is thanks Justin Roiland and Matt Harmon. The fans have gone absolutely nuts. Is this part of Rick and Morty? Is it canon? How can this be? We're PG.
Is it canon? You sound like Star Wars people.
This is exactly what's been going on Twitter and Reddit. I shit you not. If you look on Twitter now, the arguments are insane. And there's people going like, we're R-rated. That's a kids program. That can't happen. All this, they're arguing, and like I watched a video on the Nerdist on this. It's where I got the story from actually, and I was so appalled by it. And they were saying like Rick and Morty creates a world that shows infinite amounts of Ricks and infinite amount of Mortys and all kinds of different situations and stylings and things. So it actually makes more sense for there to be a Rick and Morty My Little Pony, doesn't it? Really, you know?
Yeah. It's like with Rick and Morty, you hit the nail on the head there. Like, if like you can only repackage The Simpsons or Family Guy so many ways until it's like it's a cash grab. Like, but with Rick and Morty, you can just do anything you want with it, and it's like that's the brand you're allowed. Like, don't take it so serious.
Rick and Morty have had so many, like they've been on The Simpsons. They did like the couch opening scene. I think I showed you that where Rick hits fucking Smithers. It kills the whole fucking Simpsons family, and then he freezes Smithers, and he got Rick walking. It's amazing. You know, Simpsons have featured in Family Guy and Simpsons time and time again. These things happen. It just happens. Like, stop fucking being babies, Rick and Morty fans. The shit I saw, the videos I saw about the Szechuan sauce were ridiculous. There's a guy literally lying on top of a fucking McDonald's counter, having a proper tantrum like a baby. And then he does like a fish waddle on the floor. Like, don't be the Kanye West of fan bases, please, because...
I've just got this awesome scene of like a Family Guy sketch now. It's like, this is worse than the time when My Little Pony tried to tip their hat to Rick and Morty. It's just the chicken just like, who the fuck do you think you are? Walking up to one of the ponies and just goes on one of the like 3-minute fucking chicken beat up scenes.
Oh my god, stupid! They just lose their minds over the most silliest things. Like, I love the show. I will always love the show, but yeah, I'm not going to be going for a few pints with any of the fans anytime soon. Especially not you, because you're lame and you don't want to watch the show. The second story I've got, I'm going to move swiftly on from that. By the way, I'm not even going to. Because do you know what? They may be menaces, these fans, but they're wizards on fucking Reddit and Twitter. They'll destroy us.
Yeah. And we love you all.
Lost in Space. Have you been watching any of this?
I haven't yet, no. But you did. You said last week that it was really, really. There's so much, dude. I can't just watch the shit that you want to talk about. There's a million and one.
I think you should. I think you should. I think you need to get your priorities straight, first of all. No, I liked it. It was really, really good. There's been a lot of debate about it. You know, some people like it, some people don't like it. That's always how it's going to be with anything that's ever created. But it was edge of your seat stuff throughout the whole season. It was really good. I mean, a bit unnecessarily at times. They'll have a problem, and then they'll have a problem with the problem. And then the problem with the problem will also have another couple of problems. You know, it's kind of like, oh my God. They have a really fantastic villain, Dr. Smith. I'm not going to mention any spoilers. All I can say is you could tell this actress is thinking, channel the Cersei Lannister, because she just tries to be as villainous and horrible as possible. And she does do it to some degree. I can just imagine her putting cigarettes out on the neck of a child, you know. So... so I would recommend watching it because it's got something for everyone, you know. And we were watching it, excited by it. My little boy was watching it, excited by it, and he watched the whole season. My son has watched his first ever full season of a TV program.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, and he really enjoyed it as well.
How old is he now?
3.
You left him a bit late. He should have been up to date on 24 by the time he was 2. Mate. Come on.
Yeah, he's an expert on Game of Thrones. Yeah. His favorite scene's the mountain scene where he pops that guy's head.
Yeah, we're starting him on GTA, but it's okay. He's only allowed to watch. Don't let him play it.
The letters we get from nursery are fucking hilarious. The choice to squeeze a guy's head to death. No. I watched it for the first few minutes and I was like, will Timmy like this? And then there's the little boy in the robot. What, you know, how inspiring is that? So yeah, he really enjoyed it. What else?
Well, should we get onto some big stuff?
Because
we've chatted a lot of shit at the moment, but we've got a couple of massive trailers that have just dropped that we kind of need to get into.
Yeah, which I'm not happy about, by the way. I've got PTSD after watching the Jurassic World trailer. I'm not happy about it.
I know, I had that. I was just like, I started watching it, and I was like, wow, this T-Rex scene, he's in the... Like, it's massive, it's there. Like, that's how close I want to be to the T-Rex. And then the trailer just kept with the new scenes, and I was like, I had to turn it off halfway through. I was just like, no, like I can't do that. I've seen enough already. The first trailer was shit, you didn't see enough. Second trailer was perfect because you saw just enough and it got you to want to watch it. Now I'm just like, what am I going to be amazed by?
Exactly, and I did the same thing with Justice League, with Star Wars, with so many films that have come out, and I've seen most of the film in a trailer. Like, and I've done so well staying away from these last. I didn't realize it was a last trailer. I didn't read the text above the video. I just press play. Like, I always from now on avoid the last trailers. Like, I haven't seen everyone's gone about the Infinity War trailer, the latest one. I haven't seen it. I'm staying away from it. You know, so, and Deadpool as well. I'm not
so you've not seen? So the last Deadpool trailer is, I think they've got two. Like, there's a new trailer, and then is it a new thing? I've not looked into it properly, but like a Colossus versus someone trailer, or if it's something's doing the rounds anyway that I thought was part of Deadpool. I've got no idea. But anyway, the Deadpool one, it doesn't ruin anything. It's more funny moments. If Deadpool 1 was anything to go by, there's gonna be dozens of funny moments more. So watch it or don't watch it. It's not gonna put you out as much as Jurassic World. But honestly, it just was really, really disappointing in the most awesome way. Like, because I was just like, this film looks incredible. Like, the first, I know I've literally just said about it, but like, he's in a cage with a T-Rex. I'm not going to go about...
But why would you do that? Why the fuck would you do that? Let's just sit with the T-Rex. He's asleep. Don't worry about it. I'm sure nothing will go wrong.
Yeah. I'm sure he won't bother waking up. I'm sure we've got his dosage spot on because we've got experience doing this.
Yeah, because that didn't happen in Jurassic Park Lost World at all.
Exactly.
Like, didn't not watch that movie? What the fuck?
Yeah, did you not watch your prequels?
But why do this though? Why release a trailer with so much shit and so many key plot points? I mean,
I think the whole point is to build hype, get the clicks, and it's the wow factor in a trailer is nowadays almost as much as important as the film itself, because you've got to sort of, what you've got to think is the amount of money that goes into these. They need to, like, their investments, where they come from and everything. They need the numbers and the clicks and stuff like that to be like up there to warrant the next one. It's like, well, we had this much interest and that turned into this much profit and all the boring stuff behind it. They need to push that as much as they can. So I think the days of, there's a film called Alien and it's brutal, go see it, Ridley Scott's done it, it's fucking incredible, go watch it. Days like that are over. Just like, you'll find out when you go watch it. Yes, that's like what social media has just done in general. I just don't think like the companies, they care about that anymore.
It's the on-set like pictures and videos and things as well that ruins things. Like, there's a picture of the Teen Titans characters wandering around, and there's been one from Shazam as well, and they're wandering around the sets and they don't look as glamorous as they would look in the movie, because obviously there's no like filters put on, there's no special effects, it just looks like somebody cosplaying in a fucking trailer park. I mean, so yeah, I think something needs to change. Oh, I'm not going to say that because like I'm sure there are more people out there that enjoy these more informative, fuller trailers than us that kind of want to keep it a secret. It's similar to me. Like, I love my football, but I like to watch Match of the Day. All right, and how Match of the Day works is over here is they play at the end of the evening once all the matches are played, and they play highlights of all the games. So what you have to do is you have to go for the whole day running away from all the scores and try not to find them all out. So it's very similar to that. If someone a few months ago would have told me a score to a match I'm waiting to see on Match of the Day, I probably would have given them some foul abuse.
The thing is, like, there's nothing wrong. So with a trailer, you've got to click on it to get it. Like, just don't click on it. It's not even like you could scroll down Twitter or Facebook and you could see like what the football scores have been. You have to click on a trailer. So there's an argument for, well, don't click on it. Well, no, make a fucking better trailer and don't do the middle one. Don't do the first trailer, that was shit. Don't do the third trailer, sorry, that gave too much away. The middle trailer was perfect. Have just one trailer. Have interviews with people if you want, like the extra hype and stuff. I don't know whether I've seen the last Infinity War trailer. Then
no, I don't know. I don't know when that was released.
I thought we.
I'm confused because I'm avoiding it. I don't know which one's out. We're entertainment broadcasters and we're avoiding trailers. How bad is that?
I have seen an awesome meme though going around, just like who's gonna die in Infinity War first, and it's just Drax going. Peter's dating your favourite daughter Gamora, and it's just fucking Chris Pratt's face just like, oh fuck.
Did you that's funny, did you see that that outtake? What's that program that Chris Pratt's in with a guy with a moustache? I don't know what it's called. I really want to watch it. It looks amazing.
I don't know.
It's like it's a bit like The Office, kind of really satire kind of comedy. Well, it's an outtake, and you've got a couple of the actors from this thing, and then it must have been up from a while ago because Chris Pratt's carrying a bit of weight, and they're going, okay, so who has the greatest comeback story? And Chris Pratt just straight faces, like he literally just comes out with the Kardashians, and everybody looks at him and he goes, well, because on the video she gets come on her back. And like straight up, just and everybody, it takes a second, and everybody realizes what he's just said, and everyone just dies in the room. And then the tagline on the trailer is, "This is Star-Lord. He's Guardians of the Galaxy," and he straight faces this shit. Like, it's so funny. Yeah, Kim Kardashian gets come on her back. Great comeback story. Love it. Yeah. So, yeah, with this one, like I said, I pressed it without realizing it was a final trailer. They do actually label these things as final trailers now because, like, there's just too much in them, you know. With Civil War as well, I found Civil War, that last trailer for Civil War, just showed too much.
Well, just like showing the last fight scene between like the whole build up of the thing, like
look,
Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Iron Man in that damn place or wherever it was.
Like, how amazing, like, just think of it, right? How amazing would it have been if nobody knew that Spider-Man was going to be in that film and he just turned up? The people's reactions,
it
would be
got to sell it though, haven't it? It would be. I'm completely with you, but it's just like, it's how do you find the balance of it though? Do you tell people that Spider-Man is in it when they're not expecting it? And ruin the surprise, or do you not tell people that Superman isn't in it when they are expecting to know that he's in it and not have it not disappoint people, not double positive negatives? It's like, which angle do you come from? Just like, there's ways to do it. I just don't. I hope like the big blockbuster things don't continue to have. I just want good trailers back.
Yeah. I want that guy from the 90s that sounded like Optimus Prime. There was a guy on a journey, and he needed his friends to take the ring and put it in the volcano. But there was lots of orcs. Join us for Lord of the Rings. Da-da-da-da-da-da. He was amazing, wasn't he? He was on everything.
Why did it go into Jurassic Park?
I had no idea the route I was going down, and I didn't know I was going to go down the Lord of the Rings route. And then,
to be honest, I think Return of the King would have been far better if Frodo went into the last battle riding on the back of a mech T-Rex. That would have been awesome. Just like the Eagles turn up, it's like, we're here to save you. It's like, fuck you, bitches, I'm on a T-Rex.
Fuck, a T-Rex must look like Godzilla to a hobbit. Fucking hell, it's twice the height, literally. Okay, let's move on. Have you heard about? We were talking about. I remember talking about this before we even started this show. We were walking up the Wrekin, and we were discussing this Hasbro movie universe that they're going to be making.
Oh yeah.
Well,
have we had any more updates on it?
Yes, indeed. And basically, Hasbro own fucking everything. They own both the Transformers.
Transporters.
They own. Okay, so
the sound effects were considerably cheaper in this spin-off. Heavy vehicle reversing. Sam, put your high-vis on, Sam.
You're breaking health and safety code number 42, Act 13.
Make sure you wear your visitor's badge.
Fucking hell. Oh my god, how we always do this. Remember that graph I made of us talking about GTA last week?
Crying.
Fucking hell.
Oh, I'm crying. Oh,
okay, Hasbro.
It's just fucking Sam Witwicky in a forklift with a fucking giant tesseract. Fucking just, I'm trying to get it onto the top shelf. Anyway, right. Compose yourself.
That's a great superhero bar fight. T-Rex versus forklift truck.
Anyway, Hasbro Universe.
They own the rights to both Transformers and GoBots. You could literally have Transformers versus GoBots. They own the rights to G.I. Joe, Battleship, which we've already seen, the Monopoly, the Monopoly movie. But they own the rights to so many fucking things, like Mask, which has been had the go ahead for. Mask was very popular in the 80s, and it was it a cartoon or was it? I don't know. See,
no, it was. Well, they did loads of cartoons of it, but it was Jim Carrey. It was live action, but it was just CGI bits in it.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
No, not The Mask.
What's Mask? What the fuck are you on about?
Mask. Oh god, that was brilliant.
I have no idea what. All right, I need to Google this. Right.
Okay, Mask was a program that was released in the 80s, and it stands for Master Armored Strike Command, and they used to fight the bad guys, which were Venom, Vicious Evil Network of Mayhem. Anyway, it was a cartoon.
How did I even not click on? I don't know why. I used to watch this. Right, I don't know how my mind didn't. I went to fucking. Auga, wow. So here's what they need to do: set it in Transformersville. Have Battleship in there with all the Transformery aliens. They need to add in Dinobots. They need to add in Beastformers. And they need to throw in some Mask stuff into it, and they need to have G.I. Joe as part of the special ops team.
Machines! Sorry.
Wow, okay. They need to have G.I. Joe as, like, you know how in Transformers they've got Nest? They need to have the G.I. Joe kind of thing as, like, the special ops unit that operate out of one of the battleships, and they just need to have, like, Ultimate War.
I'm just like first on Wikipedia things that Hasbro own. So you got My Little Pony. We could have Rick and Morty My Little Pony movie. There you go.
Wow. Yes.
GoBots, Transformers, Inhumanoids, G.I. Joe, Action Man, G.I. Joe versus Action Man. You know, Beyblade. Yeah, there's Dungeons and Dragons. They own the rights to Dungeons and Dragons, for fuck's sake. Transformers, I've already said that. Battleship, Ouija, they own the rights to Ouija.
Right, as in Ouija boards.
Yeah,
they own hell. They own the devil. Hasbro owns the devil.
They own Furby. We could get like fucking see Furby get fucked up by Optimus Prime. They own so much, like, and I don't think it could rival with the likes of what Disney and Warner Brothers are doing. But like, it's an interesting thought to have. Like, you could have Mask and you could have Transformers versus GoBots, and like, I mean, a reboot of Transformers, like a proper, like, give it 5 years, 6 years, no Transformers movies, and just come back with a brand new concept with proper Autobots and Decepticons, you know. I love the idea of them fighting each other, and it's always got twisted and molded and moved around of the movies. You know.
Do you know what? I can see an Infinity War trailer where you've got Spider-Man. You see his hairs go up while he's sat on a bus, and he turns around, and there's this big ring in the sky, and it zooms in. It's just like, there is a guy so powerful, and all that stuff. Where it's just like Thanos has one thing that he wants to achieve, and out of the portal comes a Furby. It's just like, pet me. It's like, oh my god.
No,
Hasbro can't pull off the same. They've got a couple of things. They've got Transformers. You could put all the Beast Former things in there if they own that as well, if it's under the same thing, which I think it is. You've got Battleship, you've got G.I. Joe, and you've got Action Man. Like, people would struggle unless they had a character who was just called like Ronald or something, and it was The Rock playing it, and it was like in the post credits in the small print, it's like Ron, aka Action Man. It's just like, oh, that was action. Like, you couldn't put it like, we've got an Action Man film. People would like, fuck off.
And they tried to reboot Action Man a few years ago. I remember it, man. My kids used to watch it, but that didn't go very well. Nobody wants Action Man anymore. Poor Action
Man. Yeah, I think they really need to be careful, like, with how ambitious they get. Like, they've ruined Transformers. Like, when people used to be like, Transformers is rubbish, I was like, shut the hell up. Transformers is awesome. Now I'm just like, yeah, Transformers has got rubbish.
It's Battleship got a lot of unfair stick. I really like that film. I've said this loads of times on the show. I didn't like Rihanna in it. I don't like Rihanna in general. But...
yeah, it was okay. There was some cool bits in it.
But when they all jumped on the Missouri...
There was also some cool bits that I went on about the other day with the latest Transformers film, but it was still a shit film. Like,
I watched that. After we did that show, I watched that, and I totally agree with your comments. Yeah.
Just like, 3/4 of the film was, well, 7/8 of the film was bullshit, and then the last scene was like the best bit of movie history ever. It was like, Optimus Prime is flying through meteorites. Yes.
The thing about Transformers is Optimus Prime is always getting his ass kicked. He's the Captain Kirk of fucking Transformers. Like, he's always getting fucked up, and then it's like the last minute when he's like, I am Optimus Prime, and he starts somehow becoming the Jason Bourne of fucking Transformers. It's really weird.
It's like watching Goku take a sensu bean, where it's just like, you just got your ass kicked, and it's just like, here, take this magic bean, and you'll be like, you'll kick everyone's ass. Just like, really? Come on.
Oh, okay. So it's been a really bad week for deaths of celebrities, hasn't it? It's really sad. These are people that actually care about them, and there's some celebrities that if they died, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. But Dale Winton, man, fucking Dale Winton was like, he was my youth, my childhood, with the days when I'd pull off sick from school and I've got a sore throat, I can't go to school. My mum would sit me on the sofa, and then Supermarket Sweep would come on.
Supermarket Sweep. So if any of the US listeners don't know what Supermarket Sweep is, do or don't. The choice is up to you, because I couldn't blame you if you didn't. Google Supermarket Sweep and see if there's any YouTube clips of it. It is literally the campus presenter takes the worst dressed people in the 90s around a shopping market and says, here's a trolley, act like it's Black Friday. Basically, yeah, and they just run around. You got a minute 30 to go and put as much shit in the basket as you can in the trolley, and the person with the most value goes in there. So everyone used to go in there and just think, right, I can run my arm along the tins of beans and put them all in the trolley. So great, you've got £4 worth, and you to get the one person running up to the TV and just like trying to put it in. Like, it takes him a minute and a half to grab the TV, but he gets £1,000, and it's like, it was just TV perfection, like.
And they all got that wrong as well. You go straight for the pick and mix. That stuff's like fucking gold.
Yeah.
You fill it up completely with pick and mix, and you'd win fucking everything.
Just like, where's the mini bar, motherfuckers?
I dreamed about that show. I was like, I'd love to take part in that show, and I'd keep the TV, and I'd keep this, and I'd have this, and I'd go straight to the games, and I'd have all the game. You know, it was such a great concept, but like it was very, very 90s, very 90s. Be warned. But yeah, it was really camp, and he was like, "Hi, I'm Dale Winton. Welcome to Supermarket Sweep." But
Yes, that was perfect.
what's the tagline was when you hear beep beep, think of the fun you could be having at Supermarket Sweep. That was awesome. Like, yeah, so he'll be sadly missed, and he did the lottery as well. We forget for so many years, and the wall. There's a hole in the wall or something like that. He did.
Never saw that.
Anyway,
The Lottery was a good show as well. Fucking twists and turns there.
No, he did the game show.
Never ended how you wanted it to end, though, did it?
Okay, so we also lost Avicii. Avicii's gone. He was 28 years old. I did put this on the Garmy, and because we talk about people that have died, we're quite morbid like that. And a lot of Americans are like, who? Because they don't really do dance music over there, but
Yeah.
like they'll know that "Wake Me Up When We Get Older." No, he did so many fucking bangers. Like there was, I think was it this summer just gone, or the summer before? It was just all Avicii. All his songs were just in the top 10. It was crazy, and yeah, 28's far too young for a guy that talented to go. So I'm gonna miss him. There's been no nothing announced about his death, how he died, or whatever. So we'll have to use our imagination. Then the final one was a huge blow, and that was Vern Troyer. Mini me, he's gone.
I know. I literally just the other day watching a video of him buy it like a remote control car for kids, and he was putting it all together, and he was having like an absolute whale of a time on doing like this YouTube video where he was driving around in his car, and he was like, "I'm gonna take the limiter off." It's just like and he was going like 7 miles an hour. He's just like, "This is too fast." That dude's a dude. It's gonna be missed.
I think he was a bit of a party animal, from what I remember. But do you know what? If I was in his situation, I fucking would be too if I had the opportunity. You know, who wouldn't?
Exactly. He sort of like, however he got there, whether it was through sort of determination or a stroke of luck of like you're an actor of that build, and you get a part. He kind of like he managed to get like a lifestyle that he could do that with, and if that was me, that 49 years old is probably as long as you're gonna make it with that condition. I'd have been like, I'm not going to be miserable for 40 to 50 years if that's what I've got.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, but I don't want to get too miserable and whatnot with deaths and stuff. I'm glad we ended on that one because without this coming across horribly, like the first with Dale Winton, I really forgot that sort of guy existed until, and I wasn't a massive fan of Avicii's music. So the one that actually hit me at a personal level would have been Vern Troyer. Without that sounding cold and callous, it's like things they do or don't affect you. People, you know, it happens all the time.
So the moral of the story of Thors-Kin is fuck Avicii, basically.
No, Jesus Christ, make me out like an animal.
You are an animal. My point is these people made people happy.
Yes.
You know, there wasn't anything about these people that made people sad.
Yeah.
So yeah, 3 legends lost. So moving on to Dickhead of the Week.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Oh, by the way, actually, before we go into, and it's called the Fastest Cars on Netflix, and it's actually really good. It's basically it all builds up to this one drag race at the end of this episode, and it's a bit like
superhero bar fight.
No, it's about what they do is they take 3 sleeper cars. A sleeper car is like looks like a piece of shit car, but they've actually built it to be super fast. And they put it against a supercar, and you get everybody's like there's 4 people, the 3 sleepers, and the guy who owns the supercar, who's usually an asshole, and you get a bit of their story, where the car comes from, how they built it, and what it means to them, of every single person. And then you have like a week's build up towards this one race. It's amazing. And then on the race day, whoever wins goes through to the grand final, which will be on the last episode.
This is like Dave back when it was Mythbusters and interesting shit before it was all just auction heroes. It's like proper gearhead. Like you could put that next to Robot Wars and shit like that, and it'd like be an afternoon's entertainment. I love shows like that.
And I'm not a big gearhead. I don't do cars really, but all I do know is that these cars would put any boy racer around the UK to shame. The big American muscle fucking Cadillacs with fucking crazy ass engines. There's a guy with a Thunderbird, a Ford Thunderbird, which generally looks quite a boring car, but he had put his life and soul into this engine, and it was amazing. You should have seen it go off the line. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I'm not into boy races and stuff like this, but I found it really interesting. I put it on. My wife was trying to sleep as well. There's this one sob story for this one guy, and I heard it behind me. I thought she was asleep. I looked, and she was crying at the story. I was like, go to sleep. Anyway, yeah. So Fastest Cars on Netflix. Look for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Now we can move on to Dickhead of the Week. I've got one story I want to talk about. I know we're gonna.
Yeah, I've got one that I can bring to it that I'll that we haven't covered that I can quite easily classify as Dickhead of the Week. So,
yeah, you go first. You go first if you like.
Dickhead of the Week is, if the rumors are true, Activision. Why, oh why would you decide not to put a campaign in Call of Duty? Remember in Black Ops 3 on 360 where they were like, we're not putting a campaign in it because we can't pull it off with last gen hardware. Fair enough. Why you're still putting out the product still at the same price, I don't know, but fair enough. Now, what's your excuse on this one? So, what? They're still going to charge full price, I'd imagine, for Black Ops 4 multiplayer, which is essentially going to be Black Ops 3 using the same engine. They'll have done a couple of new maps, done some new guns. So there's going to be no story to justify why you're doing a Black Ops 4 in the first place, and it's just going to be multiplayer. That's the biggest load of bullshit I've heard. I think it's all of this Battle Royale shit, which as well, Battlefield 5 apparently is going to have a Battle Royale mode. I think that trend is deciding the way that games are going, and it links back in last week with what we were on about with Microsoft pushing the 4-player co-op all the time, and why can't we have some single-player games back? Shit like this is what make me turn around on my whole give me more microtransaction stance. It's like, if that's what this breeds, we don't get campaigns at all because of the knock-on effect of all of this shit. I am all up for turning around and going, you know what, fuck you, I need my single-player games back, and not buying this shit.
I would very politely disagree. And I'll say this, who the fuck buys Call of Duty for just the campaign? No one.
A lot of people. Me. If you've not played the campaign in Call of Duty, you're missing out. That's the whole point why Call of Duty reached the level of fame that it did. It had a few bad bits, like Black Ops 3 had a bad story. Ghosts apparently wasn't great, but all the rest of the stories have been... Infinity War got a slate in. Infinity War's story, from what I played, was fantastic. The stories are brilliant in it. I just... If they're going to do it, here's the thing, okay? If they decide not to do it, then fair enough. Only charge half price. Put it out at £30.
Right, okay. So the way I look at this is, when we create an episode of Thors-Kin or any podcast, we put it out and we can check its progress. We can check who's looked at it, where they've downloaded it, and how far they've listened into the episode. Blah, 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 blah. I guarantee you there's something on, when they release a game, I guarantee you there's something there that lets the Activision know how many people have bought the games, where they're playing it in the world, and how far they've got with it. And I guarantee you, people that are still...
Yeah, down to the minute level. They can tell how many bullets have hit trigger fingers on a gun using the FAL. Yeah.
Exactly. And I can guarantee you there is a very small percentage. I can guarantee you there's a very small percentage that if you're playing Call of Duty still, since you bought it when it was released, you're not playing the campaign anymore, or you haven't played the campaign. A lot of people buy that game just for the online experience. I agree with you that it should be, if you're going to do that, take something at the expense, or give us something more in the multiplayer experience. Don't be loot boxing the shit out of it. Don't hold back on maps and weapons to try and make money. If you're going to take something away from the game, put something else back in. That's what they should be doing.
Yeah, here's my problem. This is this coming out has completely switched my stance on what we were chatting about with microtransactions of if it doesn't affect it, why are people bitching, blah 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 blah, and everyone's there going, no, it's the knock-on effects, is what it stands for, it's this, it's that. This has made me kind of realize that of yes, I still hold true that in a vacuum, if microtransactions can't if they don't disrupt your gameplay, why moan? But if the knock-on effect of that is that 3 years down the line, people are looking at the numbers of that and going, hey, we can cut out 70% of the cost of developing the game, i.e. single player, we can put that into more maps and we can charge for those maps and we can loot box it. Yes, even if it's implemented the right way. Cosmetics, we can loot box the cosmetics. Nah, I'm not a fan of that. Really, really not a fan.
I changed the outfit and the helmets and things that my character looks at but I don't really care. In all honesty, we can run around in an odd helmet with an odd uniform with weird looking weapon. Oh, do you know what I started doing as well? Because I'm a sad fucker. They've released weapon design on Call of Duty. Yeah. So I'm designing weapons with @Thors-Kin Podcast written alongside the weapons and then uploading them to the market. It might get us an extra listener. I don't know.
We need some Thors-Kin Forza liveries as well going on.
Yeah, exactly. And I downloaded Twitch the other day. And I haven't done anything with it, but I created a Thors-Kin account. Now, if you want to, sit and listen to me swear at people on Call of Duty with Jimmy whining like a bitch because he's terrible. We'll arrange a meet up and we'll find a way to get at you guys. I mean, I prefer to be on YouTube, to be honest. I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah, with the way all that works, I know you don't do lots into it, but you've got Twitch, you've got Mixer, you've got a couple of other sort of small platforms. You've got YouTube. If with the right setup, we can get all that going simultaneously. We've not got good enough internet to do all the simultaneous shit, so we'll have to do some small live events of just hanging out now and again. It's probably
I like the idea
with what
of
we're doing.
Us just dicking around and causing people grief the Thors-Kin way. Okay, so I'm going to move on to my story before we run out of time. Okay, what is it with conspiracy theorists? I'm not talking about the sort of stuff we talk about on the Weekly Bazaar, the things that actually make sense. But people are like, the Earth is flat and the moon landings were fake and they've got an alien colony on the moon. All these fucking weirdos. Okay, so the people are... I added this onto my notes after I sent this to you, Jimmy. So this is... It's just loading up now. There is a picture from a moon landing in 1972. Where is it?
Wasn't the moon landing in 69?
Yeah, they went back. They've been back before again. There was
not the first one. Okay.
Not the first moon landing, but there's in 1972 there was a picture taken of an astronaut stood, and in the background there's meant to be a rock, and people have analysed this picture, and they reckon that there is a moon base behind this person. So it's gone from the moon landings are fake to yeah, it's real, and you've got a base on the moon, and there's more people there than you're saying. So they just look for the most ridiculous things to add on to their fucking library of other ridiculous ideas that they've created. This picture, I'll put it on Thors-Kin for you guys to make your mind up. But it just I don't give a shit, to be honest. But I just want these people to fuck off and buy Call of Duty with no store. Fuck off.
Just like that, just sentence wasn't coming out. Was it just coffee was a better idea then? The problem with like all conspiracy theory stuff is that at some point maybe one of those things isn't correct, but you're trying to tell me that you've got to get all 100 Skittles lined up to knock them all down in a row for that conspiracy theory to come together in the way that you want it to come together. It's like the moon landings didn't happen. The technology to fake all the videos and to just to forge everything and all of that, and to distribute it and to get all of the YouTubers on board, to get every generations and generations of governments, multiple different tiers, all on the same page and believing and telling the same lies, just to convince you at home who's clicked on a fucking conspiracy video on YouTube, just to convince you of something that wouldn't matter if it did or didn't happen.
It's like that picture I put up on the Thors-Kin page about how Australia is fake and it doesn't exist, and all Australians are actors. And we've got a friend in common, Rich Carter, who lives out there. And I tagged him in it, and I was like, "Dude, have you seen this?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's absolutely fit. It's true. I'm an actor. I've been living somewhere else. We live, but it's these people, man. Like I can't work out if it's too much weed or just people that just don't deserve to be in the gene pool because they're just so stupid." It's
people that don't deserve to be in the gene pool for a subject that YouTube is completely responsible. And if you want to know more, make sure that you tune into the Weekly Bazaar on Friday, because we're going to be going deeper into it, because it's one of my subjects that I'm bringing. So if we're wrapping this shit up here, because we've gone on and gone on, I'm as usual, I'm bored of talking to you now. Are we all good to go?
Yeah, we're good to go. Just make sure you check in, like Jimmy said, to the Weekly Bazaar, and also keep your ears to the ground for the draw for Superhero Bar Fight on Wednesday.
Yep, and make sure you give us a like and a subscribe and a share and all that goodness. So see you later, guys.
Peace out, y'all.